Hey guys, Coach Dan here at Human 2.0. Today I'm going to go over some exercises for a stronger back, all right? So what we're going to do is kind of attack the back in a few different ways and try and really get some range of motion, some stability, but also just some general strengthening, all right? So we're going to do 3 exercises. I'm going to show a couple variations for each. Because I want to stabilize things first through my core, right? Because the core is a fundamental part of the back as well, right? Then I'm going to start with the bird dog, all right? Standard bird dog is opposite hand, opposite leg, right? But we're just going to start off easy if we need to regress this down, right? So hips over my knees, shoulders over my wrist. All I'm going to do is start thinking about one limb at a time. So I'm going to take my right arm and I'm going to reach it as far out as I can and bring it back. If you can do this without compensating, so swaying, feeling weight shift or anything like that, then you're good to go on to the next progression, all right? So the next progression would be sticking one leg out at a time, all right? So I can already feel a slight difference, so I don't want anything to change in my back. I want to keep even pressure through my arms. I can feel this arm getting looser, right? And then we come back, okay? And then after that, we can start working on a diagonal, okay? So I'm going to go left arm, right leg, okay? So again, same setup position, nice and neutral spine, so I'm not in a cat-cow type position, right? Just neutral. I'm going to reach out as long as possible, thinking about reaching out, not necessarily up, and then I'm gonna come back. Trying not to rotate, right? And keeping it nice and stable. The next progression after that would be to add in a diagonal tap, all right? Most people talk about the elbow to the knee, but a lot of people, whenever they do that, what's gonna happen is they're gonna end up tucking their pelvis, right? So instead, I'm gonna say hand or wrist, and we can progressively get down to the elbow as we improve mobility. Okay, so right arm, left leg, I'm gonna go out, and all I'm gonna focus on is tapping my wrist to my knee. Out again, wrist to my knee, trying not to tuck under too much, right? Trying to stay nice and stable. Okay, so those are 3 or 4 really good variations of that. The individual limbs, make sure you do every single limb, right? And then we can start working on that harder pattern, okay? So the next exercise is gonna be the arch body exercise, all right? A few different versions of this. We're gonna start, some people call this a Superman, right? So we can literally start with just the same as the bird dog. One arm at a time, right? Trying to stay nice and neutral, right? One leg at a time. And then what we can do is start going that cross body position, right? Feeling support. I don't want to feel like I'm rolling over or anything like that. Okay, so if I switch sides, again, I'm pointing my toes, I'm reaching long, and then I'm coming up. So it's not just about hiking up. I don't want to hike my shoulder or hike my hip or anything like that. I'm pulling off the ground by reaching, all right? And then from there, if we want to work both at the same time, I'm going to bend my elbows. I'm going to think about tucking my elbows into my back pockets, right? And I'm going to squeeze my legs together and pull everything up at the same time. And then drop down. So I'm really focusing on squeezing my shoulder blades together and really tucking my elbows down. After that, then we can start thinking about going straight arms. My rule of thumb is I want your biceps to be by your ears, all right, if possible, all right, because if you don't have that shoulder flexion, we're kind of taking it into the shoulders rather than the back, all right? So I'm gonna thumbs up just as a cue. I'm gonna reach up, pull my arms, and then tap back down. Point your toes, squeeze your legs together. Reach up, long, and then tap down, okay? So those are a few versions of the arch body. All right, we can do holds, we can do reps, anywhere 10 to 15 reps, holds, 30 seconds we're trying to get to. And we're really trying to work that entire back line together. Further progression for that, we're gonna kind of do the same thing, only with a wall. It's a bit more of a loaded position, so these are called wall reaches. So I'm just gonna find a comfortable range away from the wall, okay? Where I can reach up, squeeze my glutes, long first, reach back, tap my thumbs, and come back forward. I don't wanna have to push off the wall. So if I go back, I don't wanna have to really like throw myself off the wall. I wanna think about pulling myself off the wall. So I could go a little bit further, reach up first, long, trying to keep the legs straight for now, right? Reach up and tapping, okay? After that, the final little progression, all right, working towards bridge rotations and stuff like that. We're gonna add in that rotational capacity to this. So again, I'm just gonna take a neutral stance, a little bit away from the wall. I generally use an arm length just to start, okay? But you might need to be closer. All right, so I'm gonna think about elbowing the wall, reaching, pushing into the wall, and then reaching that other arm over top. That's step one. So reach with the elbow, push into the wall, and then try and reach the wall, okay? After that, then we can try and go all the way around, okay? So I'm gonna do the other side. Elbow, press into the wall, find the wall, and then come back around, okay? So elbow, press, squeeze the glutes, and then come back. The goal is to do this with straight arms. Eventually, obviously, like gymnasts, we do this on the ground, but this is just a good little progression for that. But again, we want to start with just getting that rotation and patterning that first, especially if you've never done this before, okay? So those are 3 exercises and a bunch of progressions for each one of them on for trying to strengthen your back, okay? Remembering that your core is part of that, glutes, hamstrings, everything kind of comes in together and works together for a strong back.